Welcome to a journey unlike any other. As you lie back and prepare to relax, let your mind drift into a world filled with ancient wonders, forgotten empires, and breathtaking creations. This is not just a video, it is a calm, immersive experience, a soothing bedtime journey through the 7 wonders of the world. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy peaceful storytelling, world history, and tranquil discoveries. This is not only a relaxing bedtime video, it is also an educational journey where you will learn fascinating stories and truths behind some of the greatest marvels ever created by human hands. Wherever you are in the world, whether you're resting in a cozy bed in the United States, relaxing in a quiet corner of India, or unwinding in a calm room in Brazil, this moment is just for you. So take a deep breath, let go of the stress, and allow yourself to be gently guided into the rich history and mystery of these timeless creations. These are more than tourist destinations. They are powerful symbols of our shared human spirit, creativity, and resilience. Before we begin, we would love to know more about you. Tell us in the comments, what country are you watching from? And what time is it where you are right now? Are you getting ready to sleep, taking a quiet break, or just enjoying a peaceful moment? Now, let us begin our relaxing world tour. The Great Pyramid of Giza. Imagine standing at the edge of a quiet desert. The sun is just beginning to rise, casting golden light over a sea of sand. In the distance, a massive shape rises from the earth like a silent guardian of time. This is the Great Pyramid of Giza. It has stood here for thousands of years, calm, quiet, and eternal. Tonight, as you listen, let your mind drift gently back in time to a world of pharaohs and forgotten secrets, where this ancient wonder was born. Let the story of this pyramid guide you toward peace, relaxation, and stillness. The Great Pyramid of Giza is located in the northeast of Africa, just outside of modern-day Cairo, Egypt. It stands on the Giza Plateau, surrounded by the sweeping sands of the Sahara Desert. It is part of a complex that includes 2 other large pyramids, those of Pharaoh Khafre and Pharaoh Menkaure, as well as the Great Sphinx, which lies nearby, its face gazing toward the horizon. In ancient times, it was known as Akhet Khufu, which means the horizon of Khufu, named after the pharaoh it was built for. Originally, the pyramid stood at an astonishing height of about 146.6 meters, or 481 feet, making it the tallest man-made structure on Earth for nearly 4,000 years. Time and weather have worn it down slightly, and now it rises to about 138.5 meters, or 454 feet. Each side of the pyramid's square base measures about 230.4 meters, or 755.9 feet, making its total footprint cover over 13 acres of land. It is estimated that the pyramid was built using about 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons. The precision of its construction continues to amaze architects and engineers even today. The Great Pyramid was built during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu around 2580 to 2560 BCE, during Egypt's Old Kingdom, specifically the 4th dynasty. This period is often referred to as the Age of the Pyramids, a time when Egyptian architecture reached heights of grandeur never seen before. Pharaoh Khufu, also known as Cheops in Greek, ruled for about 23 years. Though not much is known about his personal life, his legacy was immortalized in the construction of this pyramid. The massive structure is believed to have taken about 20 years to complete, using the labor of tens of thousands of workers, possibly skilled artisans and seasonal laborers rather than slaves, as once thought. The purpose of the pyramid was deeply spiritual. Egyptians believed in an afterlife, and the pyramid was intended to serve as Khufu's tomb and a gateway to the heavens. Inside the pyramid, carefully hidden, are chambers designed to hold the king's body, his treasures, and items he might need in the next world. The Great Pyramid was once covered in smooth, white Tura limestone, casing stones that reflected the sun so brilliantly it would have appeared to glow. Over time, most of these stones were removed, but some can still be seen near its base. The architecture of the Great Pyramid is truly astonishing. Built without the aid of modern machines, it remains one of the most precise and enduring constructions ever made. The base of the pyramid is perfectly square, aligned with incredible accuracy to the four cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. The stones were cut with copper tools and transported across long distances, likely using sleds, ropes, and simple machines such as levers. Inside, the pyramid contains several chambers and passageways. The most famous of these is the King's Chamber, located deep inside the structure. There is also a Queen's Chamber and a long, ascending corridor known as the Grand Gallery, with a high, sloping ceiling that guides visitors deeper into the heart of the pyramid. The roof of the King's Chamber is made from massive granite blocks, carefully placed to relieve pressure and prevent collapse. Above it are 5 smaller relieving chambers, which help distribute the enormous weight of the pyramid above. Despite its immense size, the precision of the joints between the stones is so fine that not even a blade of grass can fit between them in some places. The ancient engineers of Egypt displayed remarkable skill, and many of their methods remain subjects of study and debate. To the people of ancient Egypt, the pyramid was much more than a tomb. It was a sacred monument, an earthly staircase to the sky. The shape of the pyramid itself, rising to a single point, symbolized the rays of the sun, connecting the pharaoh with the sun god Ra. The pyramid also reinforced the power of the pharaoh, reminding the people of his divine connection. It was believed that the spirit of the king would ascend to the heavens from the pyramid and become one with the gods. Over time, the pyramid became a symbol of Egypt itself, a lasting mark of its ancient power, spirituality, and ingenuity. Even in modern times, it continues to inspire architects, writers, and travelers from all over the world. It is the only remaining structure of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and it stands as a timeless link between the past and the present. The Great Pyramid has been the source of countless myths and legends. For centuries, people have wondered how it was built, what lies within, and what secrets it might still hold. Some legends suggest that the pyramid was constructed by aliens or beings from another world, pointing to its perfect geometry and unexplained techniques. Others believe that deep within the pyramid, secret chambers remain hidden, holding ancient wisdom or treasures yet to be discovered. Another tale says the pyramid was once topped with a golden capstone that shone like the sun itself. Though no such capstone has been found, the story adds a touch of magic to the structure's already powerful presence. There are also spiritual beliefs surrounding the pyramid. Some say it has healing powers, or that its shape generates mysterious energy. Whether or not these claims are true, the sense of wonder they create keeps the imagination alive. Today, the Great Pyramid stands as one of the most visited monuments in the world. Tourists travel from every corner of the globe to walk its base, explore its inner passages, and marvel at its ancient strength. While many of its treasures were taken or lost long ago, the pyramid still holds an incredible presence. It is now protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and preservation efforts are ongoing to guard it from erosion, pollution, and the passage of time. Visitors can tour the inside of the pyramid, navigating through its narrow corridors and standing in the same chambers where ancient rituals may have once taken place. The nearby Giza Solar Boat Museum also displays a restored ancient boat, believed to have been buried near the pyramid for the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife. At night, the pyramid is illuminated with lights, casting long shadows across the desert and evoking the grandeur of a forgotten age. In those quiet hours, one can almost hear the echoes of ancient chants and footsteps lost to time. Now picture this: the desert is silent, the stars twinkling above in a vast and peaceful sky. The Great Pyramid stands tall and calm beneath the moonlight, its massive stones glowing faintly in the soft night air. Wind moves gently across the sands, whispering stories from thousands of years ago. In this place of stillness, surrounded by the memories of a lost world, You can let go of the noise of the day. Let the quiet presence of the pyramid carry you gently into a restful, dream-filled sleep. Taj Mahal. Close your eyes and imagine a quiet mist rising over the Yamuna River. The first golden rays of morning light gently touch the smooth, white marble of a monument that seems to float in the air. Birds glide slowly in the soft breeze, and everything around feels still, suspended in time. This is not just a building. This is a story carved in stone, a memory, a promise, a love letter to eternity. Welcome to the Taj Mahal, a place where dreams rest in marble and silence tells 1,000 stories. The Taj Mahal is located in the city of Agra, in the northern state of Uttar Pradesh, India. It rests peacefully on the southern bank of the Yamuna River, offering a breathtaking view that changes color with the sky. Its name, Taj Mahal, means crown of palaces. But originally, it was called Rauza-e Munawwara, which means the illumined tomb in Persian. The Taj stands on a 42-acre complex and rises to a height of 73 meters, 240 feet. The central dome itself is 35 meters, 115 feet, tall, surrounded by 4 graceful minarets, each over 40 meters high. The complex also includes a mosque, a guest house, beautifully maintained gardens, and reflecting pools that mirror the monument's glowing image. Built entirely out of shimmering white marble brought from Makrana in Rajasthan, the Taj Mahal is more than just a tomb. It is a masterwork of symmetry, proportion, and symbolism. Let us now journey back to the 17th century. The Taj Mahal was commissioned in 1631 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, in memory of his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal, who tragically died while giving birth to their 14th child. Her death left Shah Jahan heartbroken, and in his grief, he vowed to create a resting place for her unlike any the world had seen, a monument of eternal love. Construction of the Taj began in 1632 and took over 20 years to complete. Over 20,000 artisans and workers were involved, including stonecutters, calligraphers, sculptors, and architects from across India, Persia, and the Ottoman Empire. Even an Italian artisan is believed to have been involved in crafting the intricate marble inlays. The chief architect is widely believed to be Ustad Ahmad Lahouri, though the design was influenced by many. The project was not just a construction, it was a sacred act of devotion. Shah Jahan would frequently visit the site, watching his vision rise into reality. When Shah Jahan died in 1666, he was buried beside Mumtaz, uniting them in eternal rest. The architecture of the Taj Mahal is a symphony of geometry, artistry, and spiritual symbolism. It combines Persian, Islamic, Indian, and Ottoman styles, blending them into one seamless design. The materials were sourced from far and wide. White marble came from Makrana, jasper from the Punjab, jade and crystal from China, turquoise from Tibet, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, sapphire from Sri Lanka, and even diamonds from Golconda. The structure is perfectly symmetrical. The central dome is surrounded by 4 smaller domes and 4 slender minarets at the corners, all tilting slightly outward so they would fall away from the tomb in case of an earthquake. The walls are adorned with calligraphy from the Quran, inlaid with black marble. Floral patterns and intricate vines are carved into the marble itself, filled with colored gemstones. The inner chamber is octagonal and softly lit, with a marble screen delicately carved to surround the cenotaphs of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz. But their actual graves lie in a quiet, sealed crypt beneath the floor. One of the most astonishing features is the charbagh, or garden layout, inspired by the Islamic concept of paradise. With flowing water, shaded pathways, and symmetrical designs, it evokes serenity and divinity. The entire structure seems to change color depending on the time of day: a soft pink at dawn, brilliant white under the noon sun, and golden at dusk. By moonlight, it glows as if alive. The Taj Mahal is not just a monument, it is a cultural icon. It represents the peak of Mughal architecture, an era where art, poetry, and spirituality blended into physical form. The Taj reflects the Mughal vision of paradise on earth, influenced deeply by Islamic philosophy. But more than that, it has become a global symbol of love and devotion. It is referenced in countless poems, songs, books, and films. Lovers, newlyweds, and dreamers visit it every year, hoping to capture a piece of its timeless aura. Its architecture has inspired buildings around the world, from the Bibi Ka Maqbara in India to the Trump Taj Mahal in the United States. During British rule, the Taj was nearly looted for its precious stones, but was later preserved by Lord Curzon, who also ordered restoration work in the early 20th century. Today, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized as one of the new 7 wonders of the world and one of the most visited places on the planet. With its haunting beauty and powerful story, the Taj Mahal has given rise to many legends. One of the most popular is the myth that Shah Jahan planned to build a black marble Taj Mahal across the Yamuna River for himself, a mirror image of the White Taj. The plan, it is said, was interrupted when his son, Aurangzeb, overthrew him and imprisoned him in the Agra fort. There's also a story that the artisans who built the Taj had their hands cut off so they could never build anything as beautiful again. Though widely believed, there is no historical evidence for this claim. Another tale speaks of the Taj being hollow inside or hiding a secret treasure. Some even say it was originally a Hindu temple, though this has been disproven by extensive archaeological studies. And then there is the quiet myth that on full moon nights, if you listen closely near the reflecting pool, you can hear the whispered prayers of Shah Jahan, still longing for Mumtaz. Whether these tales are true or not, they add a mysterious shimmer to the already enchanting presence of the Taj Mahal. Today, the Taj Mahal welcomes over 6 million visitors each year. It stands as one of India's most beloved treasures and is maintained by the Archaeological Survey of India. Strict conservation rules are in place. Vehicles are not allowed close to the monument to reduce pollution. The marble is cleaned regularly to protect it from environmental damage. The experience of visiting is magical. As you walk through the red sandstone gateway, the Taj slowly reveals itself, framed perfectly in the arch. You are met with silence, birdsong, and the gentle sound of fountains. The gardens offer spots to sit and reflect, while guides share tales that bring the monument to life. On certain nights, moonlight viewings are allowed, giving a rare chance to see the Taj glowing under the stars. For locals and travelers alike, it remains not just a place to visit, but a place to feel. Now, let us return to that quiet place on the banks of the Yamuna. The day fades into night, and the Taj Mahal stands quiet and eternal, bathed in silver moonlight. The marble shimmers like a dream, and in the breeze, you almost hear the soft rustle of silk veils, distant footsteps, and a whisper of eternal love. As stars twinkle above and the gardens lie still, the Taj Mahal continues its silent vigil, not just as a monument, but as a timeless echo of love that refuses to fade. Drift off now, holding that image close, a palace of dreams where love, loss, and memory sleep side by side, forever wrapped in white marble. The Great Wall of China. Stretching across the rugged hills and rolling deserts of northern China lies one of the greatest architectural feats in human history, the Great Wall of China. This extraordinary structure snakes through the landscape for thousands of miles, as if drawn by a giant hand across the face of the earth. From the misty mountains near Beijing to the sandy edges of the Gobi Desert, the wall feels both ancient and eternal. It is not just a wall. It is a symbol of China's strength, resilience, and brilliance. It has seen emperors rise and fall, armies march and retreat, and centuries pass quietly beneath its stones. Today, it stands as one of the new 7 wonders of the world, visited by millions, admired by billions, and beloved by all who marvel at the power of human will. Let us now gently journey through its past, its structure, its stories, and its soul. The earliest walls in China date back to as early as the 7th century BCE, built by rival kingdoms trying to defend themselves during the Warring States period. But the concept of uniting those scattered walls into one immense barrier began with one man, Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China. Around 221 BCE, Qin Shi Huang ordered that several regional walls be connected and extended to defend the northern borders from nomadic tribes, especially the Xiongnu, feared horsemen from the steppes. This marked the birth of the first version of what would eventually become the Great Wall. However, that early wall was made mainly from earth and wood, and over the centuries, it deteriorated. The most famous and lasting parts of the wall, the ones we see today, were rebuilt and fortified during the Ming Dynasty, between the 14th and 17th centuries CE. During this period, the wall became a massive military project, reinforced with stone and brick, and outfitted with watchtowers, barracks, and signal stations. The wall was never a single continuous line. It was a network of walls, natural barriers, and military outposts. But its symbolism as a singular structure guarding an ancient civilization lives on to this day. The construction of the Great Wall is nothing short of a miracle. It stretches over 13,000 miles, 21,000 kilometers, crossing mountains, rivers, valleys, and deserts. Imagine how immense that is. It's longer than the distance from New York to Buenos Aires and back again. Different sections of the wall were built using the resources available in each region. In the mountainous areas, workers used locally quarried stone. In the desert, they packed layers of tamped earth and sand. In places closer to Beijing, bricks were manufactured and set with lime mortar, forming strong, durable segments. The wall stands around 25 to 30 feet high, 7.5 to 9 meters in many places, and its width was enough to let 5 horses ride abreast. Along the wall, you will find watchtowers placed every few hundred meters. These were used to observe enemy movements and signal using smoke by day and fire by night. Building the wall required the labor of millions of workers, soldiers, peasants, and prisoners alike. Many died under the extreme conditions, harsh weather, and exhaustion. The wall, some say, is a monument built on sacrifice. And yet it rose, brick by brick, stone by stone. Beyond being a military barrier, the Great Wall came to represent something deeper, the boundary between civilization and chaos, order and disorder, China and the unknown. In Chinese philosophy, particularly during the Ming era, the wall was seen not only as defense, but as a spiritual frontier, protecting Chinese values, knowledge, and traditions from foreign invaders. In many ways, the wall was also psychological. It gave citizens a sense of security, identity, and pride. Poets, artists, and writers have spoken of the wall as a dragon, snaking across the land. It has been painted in scrolls, sung about in songs, and revered in legends. Even today, it holds deep cultural value. It is a national symbol, often said to embody the determination of the Chinese people. Children learn about it in school, families visit it on holidays, and every year, thousands of Chinese people hike along its ancient stones. One of the most touching myths about the Great Wall is the story of Meng Jiangnu. Legend says that her husband was taken by the emperor to work on the wall. When he did not return, Meng Jiangnu traveled a long distance to bring him warm clothes for the winter. Upon reaching the construction site, she learned that her husband had died from exhaustion and was buried inside the wall itself. Grief-stricken, she cried so hard that a section of the wall collapsed, revealing his bones so she could give him a proper burial. This tale, though tragic, is cherished in Chinese folklore as a symbol of love, loyalty, and resistance. Other myths claim the wall can be seen from the moon. This has been scientifically disproven, though it can be seen from low Earth orbit, or that the wall has secret chambers and treasures hidden within. While untrue, these stories add an air of magic and mystery to the wall's legacy. Today, the Great Wall is one of the most visited landmarks in the world. Millions walk its stones every year, marveling at its sheer scale and the stunning landscapes that surround it. However, not all of it has survived. Due to centuries of erosion, vandalism, and neglect, some parts have crumbled. About 30% of the original wall has disappeared entirely. Efforts by the Chinese government, UNESCO, and local groups are underway to preserve and restore key sections. Places like Badaling, Mutianyu, and Jinshanling near Beijing have been carefully restored and made accessible to tourists. Yet, there are remote, wild sections too, crumbling and overgrown, left to fade quietly into the hills. The wall is a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1987, and it continues to inspire architects, historians, filmmakers, and travelers. It has appeared in countless documentaries, books, and films, symbolizing endurance, unity, and human ingenuity. As you breathe gently, let your mind picture the Great Wall once more, stretching like a ribbon of history across mist-covered hills. Imagine standing atop one of its towers at dawn, watching the light slowly rise over the mountains, as if the wall itself is waking up after thousands of years. The Great Wall of China is not just a wall. It is a whisper from the past, a story carved into stone, a tribute to the dreams and fears of ancient people. It teaches us that what we build with enough will and vision can last beyond our own time. And now, as we move onward in this journey through the 7 wonders of the world, let us carry with us the spirit of the wall, quiet, powerful, and enduring. The Colosseum in Rome. Imagine stepping back in time to a city where marble streets once echoed with cheering crowds, where sunlit stone rose in silent grandeur to witness both spectacle and sorrow. You find yourself at the heart of ancient Rome, beneath the remains of an arena that has stood for nearly 2 millennia. This is the Colosseum, an enduring symbol of ambition and spectacle. As you listen now, allow your mind to drift gently through its arches, across its underground corridors, and into the history carved in stone. Wherever you are, let this moment be a quiet escape. Feel free to tell us your country and the time where you're watching in the comments. Let the story unfold. The Colosseum, known in ancient Rome as the Flavian Amphitheater, is located in the heart of Rome, Italy, east of the Roman Forum and below the Palatine Hill. This elliptical amphitheater covers nearly 6 acres, measuring approximately 189 meters, 620 feet long, 156 meters, 512 feet wide, and standing up to 48 meters, 157 feet, at its highest point. It could seat 50,000 to 80,000 spectators, making it the largest amphitheater ever built in the Roman Empire. Built using travertine limestone, volcanic tuff, and fired brick, its massive structure was supported by an underground network of vaults. Today, the Colosseum is one of Rome's most iconic landmarks, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a symbol of the ancient world. Construction began in 72 CE under Emperor Vespasian of the Flavian dynasty and was completed in 80 CE by his successor, Titus. It was built on the site of Nero's artificial lake, a deliberate move to return imperial land to public use and reclaim the moral high ground after Nero's excesses. The inaugural games lasted 100 days, with thousands of animals hunted, gladiators fighting to the death, and elaborate naval reenactments staged by flooding the arena floor. For centuries, the Colosseum hosted gladiatorial combats, executions, wild animal hunts, and even mock sea battles. It remained in use through the 6th century, though spectacles gradually declined. In later centuries, it served as a fortress, a quarry, and even a Christian shrine. Despite earthquakes in 847 CE and 1349 CE that caused partial collapse, much of the structure remains intact, testament to its robust engineering. The Colosseum's design is a masterpiece of Roman engineering. Its massive outer wall encompassed 3 tiers of arched corridors, forming a freestanding facade of over 80 arches on each level. Above these rose a 4th tier of windows and seating. Inside, the arena measured about 87 by 55 meters, 287 by 180 feet, and featured a wooden floor covered with sand. Beneath sat the hypogum, a two-level network of tunnels, cages, and elevators used to house animals, gladiators, machinery, and props. This allowed for dramatic and surprising stagecraft. The structure made use of concrete vaults, arches, and modular construction techniques that allowed for quick assembly using prefabricated parts. A sophisticated system of vomitoria allowed crowds to enter and exit in minutes. Bronze brackets once held a massive canvas canopy known as the velarium, deployed to shade the audience. Although the metal fittings were later stripped, the design speaks of advanced planning and attention to comfort. In its day, the Colosseum was the theatrical stage for Roman identity and power. It provided entertainment, political propaganda, and a way for emperors to win public favor. Gladiators, often slaves or prisoners of war, became public celebrities. The arena was also an example of Roman martial values and triumph over adversity. Over centuries, as Rome Christianity spread, the Colosseum came to symbolize martyrdom and was consecrated by popes as a Christian site. Medieval pilgrims viewed it as a place of suffering and redemption. In modern times, it is a global symbol, used in film, literature, and art to represent power and ruin, beauty and decay. It has become a symbol against capital punishment, with lights turned on its facade worldwide during abolition events. Countless legends swirl around the Colosseum. One story claims that during the opening games, Peter the Apostle and Paul the Apostle were martyred nearby. Though historical evidence is thin, there's also a popular myth that captured lions once escaped into the city. While wild animal hunts were common, no records confirm citywide havoc. Local legends say that ghosts of gladiators still roam the underground passages, their armor echoing as moonlight filters through arches at night. Superstitions linger that walking beneath the Arch of Titus or shaking his statue brings good luck. Today, the Colosseum is both a historical monument and a museum. Visitors walk across restored sections, stand in the arena, and descend into parts of the hidden hypogeum. Interactive exhibits tell the story of ancient Rome's games and politics. Preservation efforts are ongoing, funded by both public and private partnerships, most notably by a major restoration funded by a luxury brand. Advanced technology, including 3D scanning and laser mapping, helps monitor structural health. Special events include nighttime light shows, reenactments, and exhibitions on Roman history. Each sunset and dawn cast shifting shadows through its arches, reminders of the passing centuries. Picture yourself at dusk, standing in the center of the arena. The stone seats are silent. The sky glows soft pink and gold. A gentle breeze slides through ancient arches. You imagine the roar of crowds that once filled the seats, now replaced by distant birdsong and the whisper of history. The Colosseum sleeps under the Rome sky, quiet yet powerful, old yet alive. Hold that image close. Let it guide your thoughts into calm stillness, where you too may rest in the eternal embrace of stone and time. Machu Picchu, high in the lush green Andes Mountains, above the winding curve of the Urubamba River, there lies a place veiled in mist and mystery. Birds call gently through the forest, and clouds drift slowly over moss-covered stones. This is Machu Picchu, an ancient citadel carved by time, nature, and human hands. It rests quietly on a mountain ridge, as if asleep, dreaming of the ages it has witnessed. Tonight, let us journey to this breathtaking wonder of the world. Let us slow down, breathe deeply, and gently explore its story, layer by layer, stone by stone. As you listen, you may find your thoughts growing still, your mind relaxing, and your imagination wandering through the mountain mists of Peru. Machu Picchu is located in southern Peru, in the Andes mountain range, about 50 miles northwest of the city of Cusco. Nestled at an altitude of approximately 2,430 meters, or about 7,970 feet above sea level, it is surrounded by steep, forested peaks and deep valleys. The name Machu Picchu means Old Peak in the indigenous Quechua language. Often referred to as the Lost City of the Incas, Machu Picchu spans over 13 square kilometers, though the core of the ancient city occupies a smaller, dense area with hundreds of structures, terraces, temples, plazas, and staircases built on the rugged mountain terrain. The site remained hidden from the outside world for centuries, concealed by jungle vegetation and protected by its remote location. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983 and one of the new 7 wonders of the world in 2007, Machu Picchu draws millions of visitors each year, all captivated by its grandeur and serenity. Machu Picchu was built in the mid-15th century, around 1450, during the reign of the Inca Emperor Pachacuti. It is believed to have served as a royal estate, a sacred religious site, or perhaps both. The Incas were master builders and planners, and this city was a reflection of their civilization at its peak. Strangely, Machu Picchu was never mentioned in any of the Spanish conquistadors' records during their conquest of Peru. That mystery has led historians to believe it was abandoned by the Incas around the time of the Spanish invasion in the 16th century, possibly due to disease or fear of being discovered. After its abandonment, the jungle slowly reclaimed the site. Although locals knew of its existence, the world at large remained unaware until 1911, when American historian Hiram Bingham, guided by native farmers, was led to the ruins. He introduced Machu Picchu to the global stage, calling it the lost city of the Incas. Since then, it has become a symbol of Inca ingenuity and resilience. Each stone tells a story, and every pathway echoes with footsteps of an ancient people who vanished but left behind their wonders. Machu Picchu is an extraordinary feat of engineering and design. Built with no iron tools or wheels, the site showcases the Incas' masterful skill in stonework and their deep understanding of the environment. The city was constructed using a method called ashlar, where stones are precisely cut to fit together without mortar. This technique helped the buildings withstand earthquakes, a common occurrence in the region. Even today, the stones are so precisely fitted that you cannot slide a knife blade between them. The city is divided into 2 main sections: the agricultural sector, with terraced fields built into the mountainside, and the urban sector, where temples, residences, and ceremonial structures were constructed. Key buildings include the Temple of the Sun, with its curved walls and astronomical alignments, and the Room of the 3 Windows, which frames stunning views of the Andes. Drainage systems, aqueducts, and water channels were carved into the stone to guide rainfall and prevent flooding. The entire city was built to align with the natural contours of the mountain and the solar calendar, showing deep respect for nature and the cosmos. Machu Picchu holds immense cultural and spiritual significance for Peru and for indigenous peoples across South America. It is a symbol of the Inca Empire, which once stretched from Colombia to Chile, uniting millions under a sophisticated and centralized government. Though the Incas did not have a written language, they left behind a legacy through architecture, oral tradition, and rituals. Machu Picchu is believed to have been a sacred place, a spiritual retreat for priests and royalty. Its location, high above the clouds, brought it closer to Inti, the Inca sun god, and to the stars above. The terraced fields represent the Inca connection to agriculture and the land. The temples reflect their devotion to the forces of nature: sun, moon, wind, water, and earth. Even today, indigenous Quechua communities nearby hold rituals and festivals that honor their ancestors and gods. Globally, Machu Picchu has become a symbol of harmony between humanity and nature. Artists, writers, historians, and travelers continue to draw inspiration from its quiet strength and timeless beauty. Like any ancient place surrounded by mystery, Machu Picchu is wrapped in stories, some told by elders, some whispered by the mountains themselves. One legend speaks of a sacred rock within the site, believed to contain powerful energy. Pilgrims place their hands on it, seeking healing and inner peace. Others say Machu Picchu was a spiritual gateway, where shamans could communicate with other realms and celestial beings. Some believe it was a university of the stars, where priests and astronomers studied the heavens. The Intihuatana stone, known as the hitching post of the sun, was used to mark the solstices and track time. Legend has it that when you touch it, you connect with the energy of the cosmos. There are also tales of hidden treasure buried somewhere in the mountains by the Incas to protect it from the Spanish. Many have searched, but none have found it, perhaps because the true treasure is the wonder of the place itself. Others say that when the fog rises just right, you can still hear the songs of ancient ceremonies or glimpse the shadows of Inca priests walking among the stones. Today, Machu Picchu stands as one of the most visited and photographed sites in the world. It draws nearly 1.5 million tourists a year, though strict limits are now in place to preserve its delicate structure. Visitors can reach the site by train from Cusco or by trekking the famous Inca Trail, a multi-day hike through cloud forests and alpine landscapes. When you arrive, the first glimpse of the city is often overwhelming. Stone walls appear through the mist, and the peaks of Huayna Picchu and Machu Picchu Mountain tower above. To protect the site, Peru and international conservation groups have put in place measures to combat erosion, manage foot traffic, and study the effects of climate change. Satellite monitoring, 3D mapping, and drone surveys help researchers better understand how to preserve the site for generations to come. Even with all the tourists, there are still moments of pure silence where the only sounds are the wind, birds, and distant echoes of time. Imagine yourself now standing on one of the terraces as the first rays of morning sunlight pour over the mountaintops. The air is cool and thin. Mist drapes the city in a soft silver glow. Llamas wander quietly through the ruins, and the stone walls seem to breathe with stories of the past. You close your eyes. The wind brushes gently against your face. Somewhere far below, the river flows endlessly. Time slows down. You feel small, but connected to the land, to history, to something ancient and eternal. And as the city of Machu Picchu rests in its cradle of mountains, so too may you find rest, safe, calm, and full of wonder. Petra, Jordan. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let your mind drift to a place carved entirely from rose-red rock. You are about to journey through time, stepping into the desert winds of Jordan, into the silence of an ancient city hidden between sandstone cliffs. This is Petra. Known as the Lost City, or Rose City, Petra is a wonder that rises from the earth like a memory, quiet, majestic, and eternal. As you listen, allow your thoughts to slow. Let each word become a gentle step down a path once walked by caravans, kings, and nomads. And if you are watching this from the United States or anywhere else in the world, we invite you to share your country and the time you're listening in the comments. You are part of a global community now, traveling, dreaming, learning together. Let the story of Petra soothe your thoughts and guide you deeper into relaxation. Petra is located in the southwestern desert region of Jordan, nestled within a basin surrounded by rugged mountains and cliffs. It lies about 240 kilometers south of the capital city, Amman, and 120 kilometers north of the Red Sea town of Aqaba. Petra is sometimes referred to by its ancient name, Rakhmu. This legendary city covers over 100 square miles, but its core, the part visitors see most, includes the famous Sikh, the treasury, Al-Khazneh, the monastery, Ad-Dair, and the royal tombs. What makes Petra so extraordinary is that it is not built in the conventional sense. It is carved directly into the rose-colored rock face. The stone takes on hues of deep red, pink, gold, and orange, depending on the time of day and the sun's position. Petra was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In 1985 and in 2007, it was voted one of the new 7 wonders of the world. The story of Petra dates back more than 2,000 years. It was founded by a group of ancient Arab people known as the Nabateans, likely around the 6th century BCE. These nomadic traders were skilled in hydraulic engineering, stone carving, and city planning. They chose Petra for its strategic location along major trade routes, connecting Arabia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean world. By the 1st century BCE, Petra had become a thriving center of commerce. Frankincense, myrrh, silk, spices, and gold passed through its gates. Wealth poured into the city, and the Nabateans transformed Petra into a grand metropolis. In 106 CE, the Roman Empire annexed Petra, and while the city retained some significance, its influence began to decline. Over the centuries, earthquakes and changing trade routes led to its gradual abandonment. By the 7th century, Petra had largely faded from maps and memory. For nearly 1,000 years, it was known only to the local Bedouin tribes, who kept its location a secret. Then, in 1812, a Swiss explorer named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt disguised himself as an Arab and persuaded a local guide to take him to the lost city. He became the first outsider in centuries to witness Petra's majesty. The architecture of Petra is unlike anything else on Earth. Rather than constructing buildings on top of the land, the Nabateans carved their city into the cliffs. This method of architecture is called rock-cut architecture. It involves chiseling directly into mountain faces, and it required incredible planning and skill. The most famous structure is Al-Khazneh, or the Treasury. This 40-meter-tall facade is the first major monument seen after passing through the narrow gorge known as the Sikh. Its intricate carvings, Corinthian columns, and towering pillars suggest a mixture of Greek, Egyptian, and Mesopotamian influences. But the treasury is only one part of Petra. There are more than 800 registered monuments, including tombs, temples, sacrificial altars, and a massive amphitheater that could seat more than 3,000 people. The monastery, Ad-Dir, is another architectural marvel. Though less ornate than the treasury, it is even larger, measuring 47 meters wide and 48 meters high, and perched high on a mountainside. The Nabateans were also engineers. Petra's success depended on water, and they created a sophisticated water collection and irrigation system using dams, cisterns, and clay pipelines to collect and store rainwater. Petra was more than a city. It was a cultural melting pot. Because of its location on ancient trade routes, Petra absorbed the customs, languages, and religions of many different civilizations. Greek gods stood beside Arabian deities. Roman architectural motifs blended with Eastern iconography. This cultural fusion is evident in the art and inscriptions left behind. In Petra, you will find Nabatean Aramaic scripts, Greek carvings, and Roman frescoes, all coexisting in the same space. Religiously, Petra was sacred. The Nabateans worshipped a pantheon of gods, including Dushara, the supreme deity, and Al-Uzza, a goddess of fertility and protection. Many of Petra's structures, including high places and carved niches, were used for religious rituals. Over time, the city became a symbol of resilience and beauty, a place where nature and humanity coexisted in harmony. With its majestic cliffs and mysterious tombs, Petra is wrapped in legends. One of the most enduring myths surrounds the treasury. For centuries, local Bedouins believed the urn atop the facade contained treasures hidden by bandits or ancient pharaohs. The Arabic name, Al-Khazneh, literally means the treasury. Another legend claims that Petra was built by giants or jinns, supernatural beings who could shape stone. The scale and beauty of the architecture seemed impossible for ordinary humans to achieve, fueling these mystical stories. Some also believe that Petra holds secret underground chambers and buried scrolls that contain ancient wisdom lost to time. Modern archaeologists have discovered hundreds of unexcavated sites in Petra, so the idea that the city still guards its secrets is not entirely fiction. To this day, Bedouin tribes in the area tell stories of ghostly figures, hidden treasures, and unexplained lights flickering through the Sek at night. Today, Petra stands as one of the world's most cherished archaeological sites. It is Jordan's most popular tourist destination, drawing nearly 1 million visitors annually. Visitors often walk or ride horseback through the winding Sishu, a narrow canyon with walls over 80 meters high, until they reach the sudden, breathtaking reveal of the treasury. Modern technology and preservation efforts have helped protect Petra from erosion, flooding, and the wear of tourism. UNESCO, along with the Jordanian government and local tribes, work to maintain the balance between preservation and access. In 2015, Petra was named one of the new 7 wonders of the world, and it has been featured in movies like Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, introducing its beauty to new generations. Yet despite all this, Petra retains its quiet dignity. The surrounding desert seems to absorb sound. The wind whispers through the stones, and the sun, rising and setting over the cliffs, paints the rose-red city with hues that change minute by minute. Now, imagine standing in Petra as the sun sets. The walls of stone glow with a warm amber light. Shadows lengthen, the air cools. A hush settles over the valley. The only sound is the wind echoing gently through the cycue. You place your hand on the smooth rock of a column carved thousands of years ago. You feel the past humming quietly beneath your fingertips. The stars begin to emerge overhead, one by one, in the vast desert sky. Petra sleeps once again, as it has for centuries, timeless, silent, and beautiful. Let that image carry you deeper into rest, knowing you have touched the soul of something ancient, something eternal, Christ the Redeemer. As the soft breeze carries the whispers of twilight over the hills of Rio de Janeiro, one figure stands tall, serene, welcoming, and majestic. With outstretched arms, Christ the Redeemer gazes over the city, not just as a statue of stone, but as a symbol of peace, faith, and protection. His silhouette, bathed in gentle golden hues at sunset or glowing softly under moonlight, has become an eternal guardian of Brazil. Tonight, let us take a gentle journey through history, mystery, and beauty as we explore the wonder that is Christ the Redeemer. Allow your breath to slow, your thoughts to quiet, and your imagination to drift across the skies of Brazil. Christ the Redeemer, known as Cristo Redentor in Portuguese, stands proudly atop Mount Corcovado in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Nestled within the vast and lush Tijuca National Park, this grand statue overlooks the city, the bay, and the surrounding mountains like a silent protector. The statue itself stands 98 feet tall, or about 30 meters, but if you include the pedestal it rests upon, the total height reaches 125 feet, 38 meters. Its arms stretch out to an impressive 92 feet, 28 meters wide, forming a massive cross-like embrace. Constructed with reinforced concrete and covered in thousands of triangular soapstone tiles, the statue weighs approximately 635 metric tons. It's not only one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world, but also one of the new 7 wonders of the world, officially declared in 2007. The story of Christ the Redeemer began long before the first stone was ever laid. The idea for a religious monument in Rio dates back to the 1850s, when a Catholic priest named Pedro Maria Bosch suggested placing a Christian monument atop Mount Corcovado. However, this initial idea did not materialize due to lack of funding and government approval. The concept resurfaced in the 1920s, a time when Brazil was witnessing a shift in politics and religion. The Catholic Circle of Rio proposed the construction of a statue to combat what they saw as increasing godlessness in society. After much debate and fundraising, construction finally began in 1922, the centenary year of Brazil's independence. The project was led by Brazilian engineer Heitor da Silva Costa, with the help of French sculptor Paul Landowski, who designed the figure's head and hands. The face was carved by Romanian artist Gheorghe Leonida. The construction took 9 years, from 1922 to 1931. It was officially inaugurated on October 12, 1931, in a grand ceremony that included music, speeches, and a symbolic lighting of the statue by a signal sent from Italy by radio, a marvel of technology at the time. The architecture of Christ the Redeemer is a brilliant blend of art, engineering, and symbolism. The statue was built using reinforced concrete for durability, a relatively new material at the time. The outer layer is made of soapstone, chosen for its enduring qualities and its resistance to weathering. Soapstone also gives the statue its soft, almost glowing appearance, especially under the Brazilian sun or night lighting. Its design is Art Deco, a popular style in the early 20th century, characterized by clean lines and monumental form. Despite its simplicity, the statue exudes grace and depth. One of the engineering challenges was building on such a high, narrow peak. Mount Corcovado rises 2,329 feet, 710 meters above sea level, and transporting materials up the steep terrain was a tremendous task. Engineers had to build railways and use manual labor to bring up heavy materials. The arms, each weighing over 80 tons, had to be carefully designed and positioned to withstand strong winds and storms. The statue is struck by lightning several times a year, and though it has suffered minor damages over the years, it has been well maintained and lovingly restored. Christ the Redeemer is far more than a statue. It is a symbol of Brazil itself. Religiously, it represents Jesus Christ's love and open-hearted embrace to all people. His arms stretched wide are often interpreted as a message of peace, forgiveness, and shelter. For the people of Brazil, especially those of the Catholic faith, it stands as a constant reminder of divine presence. Culturally, the statue has become a unifying icon. It is featured in films, literature, sports events, and music. During World Cups and Olympics, Christ the Redeemer is often shown wrapped in the colors of Brazil or illuminated with flags from around the world. It has also played a role in promoting tourism and environmental awareness. Because it stands inside a national park, visitors get to experience not only the statue, but also the lush forests, diverse wildlife, and breathtaking views that surround it. Moreover, it has become a symbol of resilience and unity. During global crises, like the COVID-19 pandemic, the statue was illuminated with messages of hope and solidarity for all nations. A place as mystical and grand as Christ the Redeemer is naturally surrounded by stories and legends. One of the most well-known beliefs is that the statue protects the city from harm. Many locals and tourists say that its presence has a calming effect, especially when viewed during sunrise or sunset. There is even a tale that during Brazil's wars and political unrest, the statue appeared brighter, almost glowing, seen as a sign of divine protection. Some also say that the statue weeps during times of national tragedy, with rainfall near the summit interpreted as the tears of Christ. Interestingly, myths also circle around the people who built it. There are stories that the face of Christ bears a resemblance to Heitor da Silva Costa himself, as a symbolic gesture. While this is not confirmed, it adds an element of mystery to the artwork. And then there are legends about how the statue was miraculously untouched by a powerful lightning strike in the early years, reinforcing the belief among many that it is indeed protected by higher forces. Today, Christ the Redeemer continues to stand with quiet dignity over Rio de Janeiro, welcoming nearly 2 million visitors each year. Reaching the summit is an experience in itself. Travelers can take a train ride through the forested slopes of Tijuca National Park, walking up the final steps to be greeted by panoramic views of Sugarloaf Mountain, the Atlantic Ocean, the bustling cityscape of Rio, and the distant peaks bathed in cloud and light. In recent years, the site has been improved for accessibility, including elevators and escalators. Preservation efforts are ongoing as the statue faces erosion, weather damage, and the natural effects of time. Local engineers and artists work regularly to repair chipped stones and cracks, carefully matching the original materials. At night, the statue is beautifully illuminated, sometimes in plain white, sometimes in vibrant colors, to mark festivals, holidays, or international events. It has also become a favorite spot for proposals, weddings, and even baptisms. To stand beneath Christ the Redeemer is, for many, a deeply spiritual and emotional experience, one that transcends religion and connects people from all walks of life. Now, let your eyes gently close as you picture it. A soft breeze rustles through the green canopy below. The lights of Rio twinkle like stars scattered on the earth. Above it all, Christ the Redeemer stands still, his arms outstretched, his face serene, carved in eternal compassion. The sky fades into shades of lavender and indigo. Mist wraps around the mountain like a silken scarf. High above the world, wrapped in stone and spirit, he watches over the sleeping city with infinite calm. In this moment of quiet wonder, may you feel held, may you feel safe, and may peace gently guide you into rest.